So I just got back from the grocery store picking up a new round of desserts for the rest of the month for our family. And I wanted to talk about the MAHA movement, Make America Healthy Again, and the way it discriminates against people with disabilities. So for starters, what's going on, if you haven't been following, the MAHA, which is Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Make America Healthy Again, the cocaine addicts plan to make America healthy. It revolves around like dramatically not just changing the American diet in terms of what we can eat or what we get by way of like fast food and stuff like that, but also the goal of this plan is to restrict what people can buy on food assistance. So if you're on WIC, there are already huge restrictions, and they want to add WIC-like restrictions to food stamps, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, SNAP. Now, in my state, in Idaho, what this means is the state of Idaho, our local legislature recently passed a law, and then the government signed the bill restricting the sale of like candy and soda and juice-like products on SNAP. So this means you can't buy gummy bears, you can't buy M&Ms, you can't buy obviously any type of soda. You can't even buy like a Zevia type soda, so like a sugar-free soda. Can't do that. You can't buy, as far as I understand, you can't buy cake or anything like that. And here's the part where it gets sticky. So this is not just like discriminatory against low-income people, but it's also super discriminatory for neurodivergent community. So the way this discriminates against poor people is because it says basically if you're poor, then you're too dumb to know what good nutrition is. And they say that so they'll give some type of statistic. I have no idea where they're getting this from, and I have no way of fact checking it, and I don't know if anyone ever fact checks it, but they'll give some statistic like 70% of food stamp money is spent on soda and candy. Excuse me? No. Sorry, but no. My family was on SNAP for 6 years while my husband and I were going through college. He's finished. We're off of SNAP now. I'm still, I took a break from classes for a year. I'm going to be going back. No, that's not what people are spending 70% of their SNAP benefits on is not soda. What my family spent easily 80% of our SNAP benefits on was trying to get enough produce to feed my children because my kids are neurodivergent and we have some picky eating. And one of the things they almost all agree on almost universally is fresh produce like cabbage and cucumbers and carrots and peaches and apples and bananas and fruit. We spent so much money on produce. We almost didn't have enough money for anything else. People aren't spending 70%. That was the statistic I was reading. Representative Jordan Redmond, is the one who introduced this bill and is like, oh no, we need to save the peasants from their ignorance. What this bill does is it doesn't save poor people from our bad decisions or anything like that. What it saves us from is being able to give our kids birthday parties. So when my family bought soda, it was almost always for like a birthday party or some type of special event where we were celebrating something and we said, okay, you guys can have soda. We're going to have cake. You know, I would go buy soda from the store. Oftentimes, because I was busy and a student and homeschooling 3 neurodivergent children, I would just buy a cake from the store. With those new restrictions, my family wouldn't be able to do that. My kids would not have birthday cakes because Republican leadership believes that I'm too dumb to know that they shouldn't be eating cake for every meal. And if you are low income, hovering around that threshold for SNAP, maybe you make a little bit too much, it means they think you're too dumb for that too. Just to be clear, if your income ever dips and you end up on SNAP, they think you're stupid too. Now, some of you out there are probably like, well, it's taxpayer money. Why should the taxpayer be paying to fund your kid's birthday party? They're not paying to fund my kid's birthday party. SNAP is there to pay for our food. It's supposed to be supplemental nutrition, but for most families on SNAP, it's the only food budget they have. That's how it was for us. We did not have extra money. So if our family of 5 only qualified for $450 a month in food benefits, which happened on occasion, then that's all we had for our food budget. If our family qualified for, $600 or $900, which also happened on occasion, in food benefits, then we had a lot more nutritious food, actually. Increasing our benefits increased our ability to access high-quality, nutritious food. Putting restrictions on what we could buy did not increase our access to nutritious food. But let's talk about why this discriminates against neurodivergent individuals and families. Because neurodivergent individuals, neurodivergent families, neurodivergent people often experience what's known as restricted eating. The term is ARFID, and I don't remember what the acronym stands for, but basically it's this highly restrictive eating where certain foods, your brain interprets them, either the flavor or the texture or something about it, your brain interprets it as danger. I experienced this. My kids experience this. My husband doesn't really notice if he experiences this or not. But for me, one of the foods I just detest eating is watermelon. I don't like eating fresh watermelon. I can juice watermelon. I like the flavor of watermelon just fine. I can juice it or puree it and make a drink, and I'm fine. But eating fresh cut watermelon is so gross. It is like biting into sugary styrofoam. The texture is just repulsive. I do not like it. I still buy watermelon because my kids love watermelon, thankfully, because my kids love it. And I still eat watermelon in front of them because I want to demonstrate healthy eating habits. So I intentionally choose to eat food that grosses me out because I want to set a good example for my kids. My kids all know I don't like watermelon though. Another food that I don't like is kind of like thick, slimy foods like cornmeal, or there was, when I was a kid, there was this like meal replacement powder that my parents would have me eat sometimes, and it's just like texture just makes me want to vomit. It's super healthy. It was like all organic, so why shouldn't I eat it? Just gross. It was gross. I don't like it. My kids all have things that they refuse to eat. They will all eat cabbages. They'll all eat cucumbers. They'll all eat carrots, bananas, berries, fresh berries, fruit. They will all eat things like that. 2 of my 3 children will eat tomatoes, though. 2 of my 3 children will eat peanut butter. 2 of my 3 children will eat mushrooms. 2 of my 3 children will eat chicken. 2 of my 3 children will eat, what's another one? Only 2 of my 3 children will eat gummy bears or like fruit and grain bars. I have a child who turns up his nose at gummy bears. And MAHA says that I, as a low-income parent, am too dumb to know what my family will and won't eat, and I'm too dumb to know how to structure a healthy, well-balanced, nutritious diet for them. When I buy gummy bears, I buy organic gummy bears from Costco, and I buy them for my family, and I make a box to last a month, and I use it as rewards for doing difficult tasks because we all have ADHD and there's not enough dopamine. But you know what gives dopamine? Delicious, chewy gummy bears, right? So I use it as a reward for tasks. I use it as a reward for eating something that's difficult for the kids who like gummy bears. It does not make up a majority of their diet, but the MAHA movement says, I, as a parent, am not qualified to make that decision for how to spend the food money that I receive. MAHA food restrictions are there to punish families.